We're not waiting.
I guess I should check to make sure I have my microphone equipped. Let me equip the proper
Good evening,
microphone.
stream.
Hello,
Is this ready?
stream.
Yes.
Is this thing
Yes.
on?
Oh,
Can
no.
everybody see me? Can everybody hear me? Excellent.
Fuck it, do it live. All right. Welcome back. Hey, it's only been 1 week since we played this time.
Woo!
Thoughts?
This makes it our fourth time playing 2 weeks in a row.
I don't like that you keep those stats.
I
Keep
also.
those yourself.
Yeah, no. Stop it.
But yeah, welcome back. I think there's only like one thing left to ask, and that's, you guys want to play some D&D?
Yes.
I guess.
Oh my god.
I'm not busy.
Lord.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm going to bed then.
Good night. Bye, chat. And stream.
Good night, chat. Tuck you in, chat.
Let's get struck by a power word kill.
No!
Damn, new character.
No, again.
Well, new character.
Jack is going to bed, then it doesn't matter what happens to Shiokaze, right?
Oh,
That's not true.
Oh,
That's what I
Right.
keep telling people.
Yoda?
But anyway, what happened last time? We got a recap something. Somebody help me.
We found sword.
That's the last thing that happened. Start from the beginning. You know how this
I had to
works.
scroll up.
Oh no! First world problems.
Somebody sounds like they don't want a 1,000 word recap.
You would be correct.
Oh, well, someone else give the recap then.
TLDR, lore freaking drop, basically. Let me reference my 5.5 pages of notes really fast, just from
Jesus.
last session.
what is this?
I would like the Spark Notes version.
No.
Hey, I also
No,
have
no,
No,
5
we're just
pages.
gonna replay. We're just gonna word for word just regurgitate last week's session.
Go ahead.
What was that old video that used to do the Spark Notes, but in Thug Notes or whatever, for like classic literature on
What?
YouTube by Wisecrack?
Yeah, Thug-
You guys never
Thug
heard of Thug Notes?
Yeah.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
great.
you've
Sounds
got to
vaguely
go
familiar.
Notes. Anybody at home who hasn't heard of Thug Notes, absolutely go look it up in your free time and go enjoy it. Don't do it now though, because you're going to deprive people of views. We don't want that. But yeah, the guy explains like Romeo and Juliet in gangster terms. It's really funny. He also did To Kill a Mockingbird and like all of the Shakespearean stuff he did at some point, like
Brothers
Macbeth.
Karamazov,
Yeah.
Orn, something
Anyway.
Orn.
Point being is, he's done a lot of stuff. It was always very funny. Go check it out when you get a chance. I want SparkNote version of the things that we talked about last time. Not like so intense that we don't get the idea, but like, you know, we don't need to go through literally every detail I said. And whoever wants to start can go for it from there. But there was a lot of walk.
There was a lot of walking. So much.
Hey, we skipped all the boring walking stuff, okay? We just did the lore and then jumped forward like 5 days.
Mm-hmm. That's the way to do it.
Okay,
I
well,
know. Well, we all woke up and there were lots of like different conversations had between different characters, of which Carissa was not really present for a whole lot of those. And then, if I remember correctly, Diaphanous basically gave. Oh my god, I can't even read my own notes. Someone else take over. Hold on.
Shiokaze?
Shiokaze was able to speak. thanks to Marrow.
Mm-hmm.
I just love
It
the
was
whole,
due to...
you're mute? You're just figuring
It
this
takes
out?
3 hours.
You're just mute?
I'm sorry. I was busy helping people survive.
You died.
Well, look, I
Temporarily.
can't fix myself. I can fix other people.
You flat out died. I mean, that's fair though. Anyway, that was last session, not this session. What this? I mean, that was last session. I'm tired.
I remember it became a game of like 20 questions where Ecolas really couldn't answer anything. Certain things could not be answered outright, like they weren't given permission to talk about them. So then it became kind of like a guessing game for a little bit. And then, we found out Ecolas never had chocolate before.
Or sweets
or
in general.
desserts.
Yeah. No, it's wild. Also found out Shiokaze is like a little over 4,000 years old, which is what? Dial?
Yeah.
Drop that
and was
routine.
they are also Mistra's well, not really Mistra's champion, but is a construct that Mistra created to help keep the balance in the world in terms of with the Oracle and with people who are trying to mess with magic and how it works and things like that. And then I don't know. Mara did something, and then everything turned into a hologram, and then cue my 4 other pages of notes of different, basically scenes from Ecolas's perspective of what's happened and when they've been kind of awoken, and like the issues that are going on in the world.
Also a old ass man on fire.
That
Just
too.
boom.
He
Yes.
deserved it.
A lot
bitch.
of context leading up to a lot of different things.
And then cue Lorik's dad in the flashback in the movie that we were watching, and Carissa's mom.
Lorik's dad, Curse's mom.
Yeah, Shiokaze all in the same room. Jesus.
Yup.
Yeah, just the Treaty of Fetterhau being signed. My father taking
Yeah.
power.
Just casual.
Probably killing people who didn't agree with him.
This important event in this timeline. That's not true.
I will neither confirm nor deny.
I know that's not true.
Yeah. Anybody have any other details to add?
We found out who was kind of the creator of the Obsidian Towers and the what are they called? The temporal gateways. We kind of figured that out, or gleaned that information.
Yeah, who is it?
That's a great question.
It's a bitch. That's who it is.
Okay, Shiokaze, not now.
My bad.
Just kidding.
I just wrote down that he was a gnome.
Everin Yarrick.
No.
Oh wait, no, I did write his name down. I just don't know what.
His name is Everin Yerrick.
I wrote down a name.
Kyle went, I know exactly who this bitch is.
Well, they haven't met him before, but they have talked to him. Kyle, as a player, has met him before.
Yep.
In a previous game. But yes, a gnomish wizard is responsible for creating these, seemingly against the better will of most people in the world. Seems like he just kind of did it.
He has short man syndrome.
Hey,
Ish.
Huh.
Are they wrong though?
My father, Leywin Sarlaya, signed the treaty into law, became the sole Grand Magistrate, and brought Valdian under the Concord, and then immediately handed over the traitors who he said he didn't have. And said, "Yeah, go, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Steel is a demigod." Let's see. I guess there's a bunch of details about the reason the treaty was created that other players don't know, but basically, the elves did a fucky wucky with their giant magical ritual and ruined half the fucking countryside and turned it all into a desert to summon an island that was theirs aplenty, and now they're being punished for it. And this article of contract also instilled certain rules about the Oracle, which made everybody angry. Oh yeah, there's another person that looked like the stranger, but they had a different mask. Let's see, what else do I have here?
I don't know how.
You would also know
important
that
it
the
is.
person in that memory who was wearing that mask is a woman.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, also, my father took down all the names of everybody who voted against him, likely to be disposed of.
Killed.
Um,
Done.
Chris's mom refused
Be
to sign it
appropriate.
until way later.
Mhm.
And then afterwards, we found an overturned carriage with a bunch of stuff, and the Azith Order being killed on the spot. And then Carissa, the only person to roll anything above a 10, spotted something in the back of the carriage.
Alrighty. So, I think that's pretty good. Good sign. So we pick up on the road, and as I'd mentioned before, where you guys had seen this carriage crash is a place that Lorik knows of. The rest of you, it wouldn't occur to you. Shiokaze, sort of, but not really. You haven't, every time you take a gap break from the world, you just assume stuff's gonna change. So you don't really take the time to, memorize a bunch of crap about, geography and stuff. Because every time you come back, everything's fucked up anyway. So you're like, that's not important to me. Who's in charge now? Who's got the continent under their control? That type of stuff, right? One of the things you would know is that this empire has kind of cut themselves off from the rest of the continent. Lorik would know that this is an old pathway that used to be a part of the main trade routes within their kingdom. But it used to be a fork, and now it is just a bend in the road. So it looks like it comes to almost like what's supposed to be a fork, but there's no other road attached to it, and it kind of just bends back off towards the next city, you would assume. The cart was found on its side, having been scathed and singed by different types of magic, and looks like maybe even weapons were brought out here. There are a couple of people that are on the ground dead, and then there's one dude who is still alive, that I think we performed some first aid on, if I remember correctly. And you asked him what he was carrying or what they might have attacked him for, and he didn't really know. And then some clever detective work from our team here. We discovered that there is a secret interior to this carriage, storing an item. So let's return to the scene with the carriage. Carissa, as you walk around the back of the carriage, you see a bunch of parcels, boxes, opened and emptied onto the floor. Well, I guess technically it's the floor now, but it was once the side of this carriage. And on the floor, you can see that scattered and mixed together, there is a large group of documents. Death certificates, birth certificates, and a nice mix of just random legalese that you may know the origin of. You may know where these are found, where they are originally coming from. However, you do not know their intended purpose. This is a mystery we still have yet to solve. That is when you spot a section of the wall on the top of the carriage now, as this thing has been rolled on its side, that is starting to peel away from the actual wooden siding of the carriage. And as you reach your hand in there and begin to push down on it, you can see the glint of something stored away in the top of this piece of the carriage, this secret compartment, if you will. And it looks like something that you could be able to like grab and pull out if you really wanted to, but it's kind of wrapped up in this cloth. You can see part of it is made of metal because it's glinting, but yeah. You guys are here. What do you guys do?
I want to go after whatever's in that little hidden compartment. So I think
Okay.
I'll probably try to rummage through and kind of try to get that out.
Okay, so you grab the sword.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Evens or odds?
Evens.
Okay. You pull the sword out, no problem.
Cool.
As you begin to slide it out, you do notice that this is a sword. You can feel the weight of the heft from the blade. The hilt is familiar to you. As you begin to pull it out, you can see that it's been wrapped, and then it has a sheath, and then the blade is inside the sheath. And as you slide it out slowly, you can see it's been wrapped in a cerulean blue cloak. Attached to it is a letter, like a note, that has been like tied to the top with like some cord, not red cord, which would indicate something that some of the people here at this party would know about. It's just regular cord. It's like a black, kind of like almost like a paracord, if you will. Very well and tightly woven together. As you slide it out, no problem.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of poke. I guess I'll kind of walk over and kind of poke my head just like out of the back of the wagon and be like, "Hey, Lorik, can you come check this out?"
I am busy whistling, looking off into the trees because the last time I was here, I rolled a 2 on my die. But I'll sort of turn back around and be like, we find something of worth?
I think so.
All right. I'll saunter on over and take a look in this upturned cabin. No. Caravan. That's the one I was looking for.
You walk on over. You see the same site that I described before. It's a modestly decorated interior to a cart that looks to be a courier's cart, but you know that this is probably a more like higher end courier's cart. They usually carry like nicer stuff. And as you begin to look in here, you can see that a lot of the stuff that would have been like packages or whatever have been like ripped open and looked into and like dumped onto the floor. You can see that some of the like storage cases and stuff have been like smashed. There's like glass and stuff in the bottom of or I guess the side of the cart at this point. And you can see that there are a few drawers missing and some other things with that. That is when you see that Carissa is holding what looks to be a sword of some kind wrapped in a cerulean blue cloak with a note. And there is a section of the sidewall paneling that is like slightly pulled apart, where you think that Carissa jammed this thing out and like pulled it from.
So, given it remains probably what they were looking for, unless they really wanted all these death certificates and whatnot.
No, but do those certificates look familiar?
Oh yeah, we've seen a number of these. They're all over the place. Not really too certain what they're for, but I mean, we've seen them all over.
It's just weird we keep running into him, but we'll worry about that later. Can we need to figure out, we need to talk to the guy who's remaining, and we need to figure out where they were coming from and where they're going, because this isn't something that you would just normally like send in a wagon like this. So we need to figure out a lot of things.
Well, I guess that gives us a bit of an idea as to where Rena went.
I guess it does.
Dawn?
Yes, Dawn. Characters mixed up in my head.
It's okay. I knew who you meant.
I don't think we'd be seeing any more of, well, any of this. But you asking me to do an interrogation?
Excuse me.
Uh,
Bless me.
Maybe let's start with just questioning first.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can do an interrogation. I'm a thief. I'm not an assassin.
Well, I know, but you tend to stab first and then ask questions later.
Well, yeah, when you're about to get caught by the police, that's what you do.
Just go talk to him, see what you can find out.
Is he awake?
I mean, Diaphanous is like standing over him wearing an azure cloak.
All right. Well, I'll walk back on over and as I sort of step away and just let's keep that one hidden, yeah? Just sort of towards Carissa.
I agree.
Walking back over to the individual. Is he conscious?
It looks like he's been resuscitated. He's still very much circling the drain, but he looks to be better than when you found him.
Diaphanous, like, every time he goes to, like, pass out, Diaphanous, like, is, like, taps on the cheek, like, no, not yet.
I'm going to sort of crouch down to look at him eye to eye. Hey, buddy.
Wait. Why are you working with him? You see, he looks at Diaphanous.
Oh, he's a deputy that I recent addition to the Brotherhood. Don't worry, he's with us.
No, he's
No.
not supposed to be near.
Buddy, I sort of place my hand on his shoulder, and I will change forms to look like any other of the Azoth Order that I've seen before in the past. And I'll be like, you think they're gonna like us walking around in these blue cloaks? Of course, I look like one of them. Blend right in.
I thought you were a dirty elf for a second.
Were you attacked by elves?
Yes.
I tap Lorik on the shoulder, like.
Any distinguishing markings? Did they say anything?
I'm gonna take a nap real quick.
Take a nap right
Just
here.
lightly shake the shoulder again.
No.
We need everything we can get. Without your help, they might get away.
Everything I know. Please.
Sort of look back towards Marrow, like, what the hell did he tell you?
I don't know. I'm not good at healing people. Every time I try, I hurt them. I don't know. Does your father, does he have like a specific marking or something he puts on his assassins?
I sort of look at you like you're stupid. He
Well,
does his
I
business
don't know. I'm not an
broad
assassin.
Neither am I. How does
But
such a
you've
mighty-
been around your... Oh, whatever.
I'm a thief.
I mean, can we carry him to our next location?
Oh no, I don't want to keep him.
What other information will we need? I mean, we already know where... why were you carrying death certificates?
Huh?
What does the Order need the death certificates for?
What? Death certificates?
I reach over, grab one of the death certificates, and see death certificates.
They're not signed. I don't know where those are going. I'm a courier, man. I just take the stuff from one place to another.
Gods, he's useless.
Look, I don't... my memory's a bit hazy, man. It was a
Why
guy
would
on the side of the road who looked injured. And then we stopped because...
You
it's
tell me you fell for the oldest trick in the book?
Hey,
Come on,
it was
man.
one guy.
They hide the others. Duh.
He didn't have any weapons on him.
He doesn't need weapons on him. He's the bait.
No, it was just one guy. Ugh.
one guy attacked you?
Yes.
The Azure Order has changed. Used to be, they'd be so fucking tough. Now they're just a bunch of glorified letter carriers.
I'm not a wizard, man. I didn't have the ability to fight back.
Well, that's apparent.
I sort of cock my eyebrow towards Marrow.
Do you want me to walk away? I'll walk away. It's alright.
Look, anything else you can give us will help in finding the perpetrators and bringing justice to them.
We didn't know he was an elf. And so we stopped. He's blonde. He's wearing white flowing clothes. No sign of weapons. And then, next thing I know, I'm laying here with a stab wound. Ugh.
Now I need to go review my notes.
I'm in a lot of pain. Can I take a nap, please?
Yeah, you can take a nap, buddy. We'll wake you up tomorrow.
Does that sound like someone you might know, Lork?
I look at my notes.
What?
It sounds like the person that was with Deal, no? The blonde one?
Dio. Sorry.
Mayhaps.
Just looking over y'all's shoulders. Like,
Is that someone your dad has hired before?
How would I know? He doesn't tell me shit. He's not like my dad. He's just someone I grew up around sometimes. I hardly saw the man. Well, if it was Amer or Wayland, I didn't write much down for them, so...
Emer.
Just give me a history check to see if you might maybe recognize the description he gave.
Sure. I thought it was the person that was on the boat with Shiokaze, but I couldn't find their name immediately. $13.
Well, the description that he gave you, yeah, I mean, it could be Amer, but Amer also wears, golden plate armor. And it would have been weird, because you guys saw him in the city before you left, for him to be out here ahead of you. Unless this happened days ago, but then this guy would have had to have been in the woods, laying like this, for a week before you guys would have gotten here.
All right. Not Amer.
And you think Steele probably would have killed this guy if they had just been here. You don't think leaving witnesses is a thing Steele's really wanted to do. Steele probably would just have cut his throat and walked away. As far as other people, I mean, who knows? But the other man that you're thinking of, the father from the Church of Ilmater, the one that was on the boat with Shiokaze, he's a human. So it couldn't be him either.
Then I don't know.
But he sounds like somebody you might have met before.
An elf with an attitude. Yep. Know lots of those guys.
So every elf.
Not every elf has an attitude.
Every elf except me.
You have an attitude.
I'll
Oh
say.
no.
What you talking about?
Case in point.
You guys are kind of just hanging out until you guys decide what you guys want to do.
Yeah, I'll wander back over to whoever many people are in a group and let them know. Elves. Blonde guy, white flowing clothes, no weapons. Hey, he killed everyone by himself.
Man, he sounds so distinct from every other elf.
I mean, I wear black.
You're the outlier.
Elves.
Anyone else have any ideas on who it might be?
Nope. I'm new to the campaign.
I will say
so
people.
new.
I will say Shiokaze and someone else in this group have met this person.
All right, let me roll for history then.
For IRL
Boink.
and you. Oh,
I'm sure it's also me. Let's be real. I'm frantic. I'm looking through my notes, okay.
Shiokaze. Hold on one sec.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. 1 second, Bragan. I'll answer your question.
No worries.
Dak. This is the person's name.
See if I recognize this name. I do not recognize this name.
Let me grab the image, and you might remember it that way.
Okay. I have no memory of this place.
Let's get in for that
Oh,
one.
you should.
It's been 4,000 years, okay?
I've slept since then.
He's
Exactly.
That's pretty funny. No, the only reason I say that you should remember this person is because you met them in this game. Granted, it was a little bit ago, but still.
Oh, I think I remember. Yep, I remember. You're gonna kick yourself.
Should we be worried? Should we not be
So-
worried?
Can I talk about who may know me?
Yeah, I mean, you remember
Okay.
this.
Okay.
You rolled a 19, so like you remember who this person is.
Terrain. I'm gonna go. Oh, that one guy that that was on the was it a boat? It was like a docked boat or something.
In the Undercity of
Mhm.
the Twin Cities. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Hey!
Yeah, he was blonde.
it was dark. I couldn't see.
Do you
Not
remember
sure.
him?
Yeah,
That's
not good.
Who?
Are we sure we need to save Hope?
What?
You're the one that wanted to do
Oh,
this.
yes.
Okay,
I mean-
fill me in.
You guys are pretty powerful. Guess
So, Eros Cezanne? Cezanne?
Scissors.
Yeah, his name is Eros Cisan.
Cezanne. Oh, I was right.
Um,
Diaphanous, Lorik and I were doing a little game of teleportation.
How's spell, by the
Wow.
way?
I will
House
spell
spell.
it for you. Give me 1 second. Unless
Oh,
Dak
house
wants to just
spell.
put it in the chat.
I could.
Also, this is his appearance. In case you guys do or don't.
Oh, I remember him.
Cutie.
Oh, I spelled
I
that
remember
all
the
fucked
name.
up.
I remember
Oh.
the name more than I remember the picture.
Yeah, me too.
I remember the picture more than that name.
I don't think I've ever seen that picture.
yeah, he put it in there.
I don't think I've ever seen that picture.
Man, you
Matt,
blind.
does Diaphanous know who this is?
Diaphanous, you were the other person who's met this person, so yes.
I just said we were playing a game of teleportation.
Only three of you have encountered this character. Ilikash just happened to be one of the 3 people. Lorik vehemently did not want to talk to this person and avoided him actively,
Mhm.
and then put you in the room with him and walked away.
I do remember
And you
that.
wanted to kill him with your paper gorilla.
This is the guy from Lorik's house. The
Mhm.
guy that
This is somebody who is an acquaintance of his father.
Mm-hmm. Like a student or something.
Well, how powerful is he, Lorik? Because I remember you saying that like he would be rather difficult to kill.
Good question. I think I'm just looking at my notes. I think that was one of the sessions where I didn't write any notes.
Brother.
Oh, no.
What?
Yeah, that's why I couldn't fucking find it.
This-
Um,
That was. Oh lord.
Let's just say my father trusts him very highly, and he's been doing work for my father for a long time.
And if I remember correctly, he thinks that you guys are friends.
No, he just likes saying that.
It's unrecorded.
Diaphanous winks at Ilikash. Okay.
So,
Hmm.
what do we do?
I think we try to avoid him. He doesn't sound like he's pertinent to our mission.
I agree.
Okay.
Does everyone agree with that assessment?
I don't. There isn't going to be any avoiding him if we intend to go to my home.
Well, yes, but I mean we avoid him until we get there. I'm just saying we don't go looking for this guy.
As soon as we step foot in my homeland, they're going to know we're there.
What?
No offense to the rest of you, but we're not very stealthy.
Blink, blink.
You got a point. You do got a point.
They knew
Why,
who I
thank you.
travel with.
I do think of myself as rather loud.
Even if I hide myself, they're going to know I'm there.
Yeah.
Unless, never mind.
Cool. Okay, well, how far are we from your home at this point?
Well, closer than I've been in a long time.
Oh, excuse me.
Okay, but I meant like in miles.
I don't know. Just keep walking.
Some freedom units, please.
Do we just
Lord, preserve me from the elves.
guess we'll know when
All
they
right.
know. We'll know when they know, so we'll know when they know. Let's go.
They always talk in their fucking riddles.
Who is they?
Elves! It's, oh, you know, as far as the crow flies. Well, excuse me, I'm not a crow.
I do not know how far they fly.
Like, why would I? Why would I know that? You look. By the way, Diaphanous has started to like walk away.
Other way. It doesn't follow the road.
It doesn't follow the road. Follow the pines. The moss will tell you. And he just starts walking into the woods.
Just give me a D4 roll real quick.
Oh no.
You walk in the wrong direction.
Oh no.
You go into the woods in the opposite direction of the city.
Lork turns to
I'm
the rest
talking
of the
about
group.
rocks now and how they speak to the wind.
Lork turns to the rest of the group.
But-
This road used to be a fork, but well, we cut off access, so the road has deteriorated. You follow along a curve to this direction here, you'll find your way. I'll go grab him.
Oh, okay. I'm not going.
I'll wander off to find Meryl, and because I am me, I casually walk and catch up to Meryl.
Okay. You eventually catch
Did the pixies tell you where I was?
He
your
seems to be
footsteps
having
go.
a rather engaging conversation with a rock.
Hello, Stone. Do you happen to know where Lord Soma is? Oh, it is next to the brook?
You don't say.
Give me all the hot goss.
Oh no, Meryl, it's the other direction. The rest of the party's headed that way.
Okay, Diaphanous stops and drops the rock. Diaphanous
guys
is
begin
a
to-
salty bastard.
You guys begin to head back to the group. As you guys begin to walk back, is there anything else we want to do? There is a thing I've got to resolve for Carissa. But does anybody else have anything they want to do with the cart?
I am all right.
I'm okay.
We're just gonna leave that dude there.
Yeah,
Oh my god. Okay.
he's our enemy.
That dude that got stabbed.
Yes.
Oh.
Technically, I do have a certain level of loyalty to that group, so I give him
I
a
know.
pillar and some food.
Fuck him.
Cause fuck them. That's why.
Yeah.
I missed that part.
These guys hit on Carissa like session 2.
Yeah, but they're not all bad.
Which they are. I lumped them all together.
Oh, did the pines tell you to do that?
No, my father did.
Your father's a tree.
There you go. I'm sorry. There you go, Eva. That's the way.
There seems to be some sort of language disconnect here.
I'm very confused. Diaphanous, you are confusing me more.
Like, yes, but I'm enjoying myself. It's rare that happens.
Are you sure you didn't eat something when you wandered off?
Only a few rocks.
Very funny. So you guys are gonna go ahead and just leave from this place, I'm assuming.
Yep.
I'm gonna leave the guy some food and a rough map of how to get to the city.
Very rough.
Just give me a survival check to draw him a proper map.
Can I impose disadvantage?
Oh. Why?
How would you be giving him disadvantage?
Very clearly, he has no idea where we are, and I do. So I would like to just feed him incorrect information as he's asking. It's like he starts drawing the map, and I'm like, "Oh, the road bends east this way, and there's actually a mountain past this ridge here, and it's all complete bullshit."
I would like to counteract that disadvantage because I'm already irritated with him. So I'm already like, oh yeah, for sure, that's where it is.
The other way.
I already don't believe his directions.
I will say what happens here is we will roll for emphasis. Okay, so whichever number is farther from 10 is the one we'll take. So go ahead and roll again. And if this other number is below 10 and farther away than an 18, then that's the one we'll take. But it's kind of a coin toss whether or not he actually has any effect. It's kind of like when you're trying to remember numbers and somebody starts going 7, 1, 8, 5, 5, 1.
Okay.
You're
So
like,
this is a survival room.
yeah, just roll me another survival check.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna take the 18. Even with Lorik's terrible directions, you faithfully draw a map you think that an experienced traveler could use to go somewhere.
Okay.
I kick sand in his wounds.
Fuck him. That's why.
That's why. Yeah. So, you guys are kind of wandering towards the city. Cool. As you guys begin to wander through the woods, you guys will see that the overgrowth begins to take over what was left of a path long before you even arrive anywhere near the semblance of what is a roadway. And it is basically on Lorik to lead you in the right direction. So as you guys begin heading down this path, there is interesting like flora and fauna, but nothing to the point where like you'd be like, I've got to stop and do this thing. Also, Carissa, I know that you asked if you want to hide that from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to have to explain to me how you hide a giant sword, a long sword no less, from an entire group of people.
Well, no,
Wrapped
I don't want to.
completely
I'm
in
not
blue.
hiding it. I'm not hiding it from the party. You just see me like I go into the wagon. I call Lorik over. Everybody talks. Like they talk to the guy, talk amongst themselves, and I just kind of like wait. And then when they start to walk up, I just kind of like casually join the group, and I just have like this bundle in my arms, and I'm like, so we can't leave this here. Like once we're out of earshot of like the wagon and stuff, I'm like, so we got to take this with us. It's kind of important.
Gotcha. So yeah, you take it with you. As you guys begin to travel here, it will take you probably another day to get to the gates of the city. Of the nation. Once you guys are inside its walls, it'll take like another like 2 or 3 days to get to the capital. And that's only if somebody is guiding. Otherwise, it would be like a week of travel of trying to like distinguish which tree is different from the other, and shit like that. So, as you guys been like to venture along the route here, if you guys would like to go ahead and flip over to the tactical map, we will talk about as you guys arrive, like around nightfall, the scene you guys see here.
Ooh.
I'm gonna place tokens on the map real quick, but essentially you guys arrive at what looks to be a giant reservoir of water, almost like a river that has been held and stopped at this place by a giant doorway. And you guys see that the door is closed. This place is still sealed. Let's see. Lorik is here. I think that's all of you. I think we're good. Good. And feel free to turn the grids off if you want to see the actual battle map underneath. But yeah, so you guys see this like ancient looking gateway up ahead. And as you guys approach, the water is clear enough that you can see the reflection of the stars overhead in the water, and you can see what is almost like a brilliant display of light from the water itself. As you look into the water, it's also like crystal clear, and so the light helps illuminate that these walls extend far beneath the water as well. So it looks like this place is artificially made.
Like a quarry.
Yeah. But you guys are venturing along the sidewall of this, what is like basically a big font.
I sort of walk my way down because I've seen this before.
Oh.
I follow.
Ava, what are you up to? As we
Walking as I'm staring at this intently, kind of not really watching where I'm walking. Like trip as I'm walking, just can't take my eyes off this entire. Just taking it all in. Kind of wondering if she could, how deep it is, how far away it is. Is the water right up to the edge?
What you are seeing here is correct. This is a visual representation of what you are seeing. So, the water comes right up to the walls that you guys are walking on, and it continues all the way to the front gate that you are looking at in the distance. And the water is like a couple feet down from the side of the wall. Like you could probably lean over the edge and put your hand in it if you want.
Can I touch the water? Is the
Yeah,
water
if you'd like
safe to touch?
You can touch it, just don't jump in.
Why not jump in?
Oh, they don't like it when you jump in.
Who's they?
You want to find out?
Kind of.
Okay, be my guest.
I'm not jumping in. I don't want to get wet. I do
You
want
said
to.
you want to find out.
Yeah, but I want to touch the water.
I said you can touch it.
Just don't jump in.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, my arm. I don't you, Lork. I will kneel down and gently touch the water's edge. Or reach down as far as I could. With my tiny arms.
You reach down and place your hand into the water.
The feel.
As you place your hand into the water, it is incredibly still. In fact, until you place your hand in the water, it's almost like looking at glass. And then as you place your hand into the water, you see that you create such a small ripple, and it extends out. And if you don't swirl your hand around too much, you will see that the water doesn't even take that long to recover to this serene kind of stillness as you place your hand in. You can see that the lights phantasmally glow overhead, and you are seeing like this almost like aurora effect in the water.
Oh my god, I forgot how to spell. I'll figure that out. Ooh.
Yeah, this was a national treasure at some point.
Was? It's still not is?
Got boring.
What do you mean it got
On the outside of the
boring?
wall.
Oh,
It's just water.
yeah, but I guess I've not seen anything like this before. I'm-
You're gonna have fun then.
I'm also not probably as old as you either. I haven't seen.
I'm not that old.
How old are you?
120?
You want to know my age, Lork?
No.
Keep it that way because I am but a baby apparently to you. And apparently
Good
to all
one,
of
Lork.
them. She points at everyone behind her.
Me sitting as the eldest in the fucking room, like.
Surrounded with old
You
people.
do know that there are elves that are older than you. Elves in
Yeah,
this world do not
that's what I
live to be 1,000. They live to be like 10,000.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I said I'm not that old.
That's
So-
not- I am old.
I guess we're both babies.
Lorik's father, for reference, is probably somewhere in his 7,000s.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
too
happy to know he
late.
doesn't have that many children.
That's fair. Wait. Are you the only son?
Maybe now.
What an interesting question to ask.
Mhm.
Maybe now?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You're you're new to the group. You didn't know that part.
Ah.
I
Oh.
had a brother.
Oh, did you kill him?
No, my father did. What?
Oh, what?
I'm not a monster.
Who do you take me for?
Different.
I'm a thief.
Man, I see how you throw your knives. I see
Yeah,
how you
I got a lot of
move.
practice. So, I'm an elf. That's what we do. I've been throwing a knife for 40 years.
But do you still remember how to?
It's on the flick of the wrist.
Look at the wrist.
It's like
He's
riding a
good.
bike. You never forget.
I guess.
Mistake no forget.
Well, Ilokas, have you ever been here before?
God?
Have you?
No.
That's-
Okay.
All right.
If I have, I don't know.
Carissa, you've ever been here before?
I have
Funny
not.
joke.
Well, I guess this is the first time for everybody.
Y'all are how
Insight
old?
checks.
But then,
I'm only 84.
Only 84.
What? Do I look older? I
No.
thought I trimmed my beard last night. I thought it made me look a little younger.
little baby face.
All children. Well,
Lorik, you remember being really young and like in your early hundreds, just after you had forgotten your dreams, before like you had just began to have your meditative state instead, so like you couldn't dream anymore, and you and some of your buddies came out here and were just shooting shit, talking about how mad you were about things, and you remember that there's a rope tied off like behind one of these like pillars that you guys would use as a ropes to like fly and land on the water. And you remember seeing a giant crab underneath the water, hanging out at the bottom. Like, we're talking the size of a small boat.
I in something most people don't see from Lord Grafton, a quick thought comes to mind. A smile appears across my face momentarily as I jump into the woods looking for the rope.
where's it?
Sure enough, right where you left it. A bit more hemmed and frayed than when you last saw it, but still there.
I give it 2 strong tugs.
It seems like it would hold you.
All right, I sort of hop on and sort of swing back and forth, not enough to go straight into the water, but
Yeah.
just testing it. And
Yeah, it holds your
I'm
weight.
listening.
This is
Mhm.
Elven Room. It's built to last. Forward tough.
Or death.
But yeah, you make a little loop for your foot to like rest in as you kind of rock back and forth.
A long time.
What is this?
Oh, gotcha.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say Illukas followed and is watching him go swing, swing, swing. And they're like, I want to try.
I hold the rope out for you.
They look at they grab the rope and then look at it. Oh no, they don't know what to do.
Like you're an idiot for a second.
Oh no.
But your foot in the rope.
Is trying to explain like advanced magical theory to Eva.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're obviously taking a moment, so he's like, so by the way, this is how you would cast this spell.
Yeah.
What?
Ava, while he's doing that, you find it very difficult to listen to his lecture because when you swirl your hand in the water,
Uh-huh.
you see that the light almost moves like it's a filament in the water. As you're like waving your hand, it begins to swirl around your hand. If you bring it close to the surface, it almost looks like you could hold it. And it's a bit distracting. Also, please place yourselves where you guys would be on the map after this amount of time.
I'm off to the side. Look at my damn rope.
Carissa, what are you up to, by the way?
I feel like she's just kind of tagging along with Ava. She's not putting her hands in the water, but she's watching Ava just like, move her hand in the water, and she's just kind of like, huh. She's kind of admiring how pretty it is and half listening to Diaphanous, like go in depth about magical mechanics, like half listening, half just like, that looks really pretty. So.
Yeah, I would say you are sitting here thinking about that, and then a thought occurs to you, something you probably haven't thought of in a while. Being in this place reminds you of your home, but with a stark piece of contrast. A place like this in your home would have been perfect. Preserved, no overgrowth, and even placing your hand into the water would not have caused weird disturbances due to this like weird wavy kind of physics that goes on when you place your hand into the water and cause displacement. That's not to say that you can't like swim or anything in the water there, but it's just a lot less idyllic in this place. You see the crumbled stone, you see the overgrowth, and you think that people haven't taken care of this. It's just been here. And you think at home this place would have been preserved.
Gotcha.
The other thing I will note is that this place is probably twice as big as you guys are seeing on the map, because on the other side, without the gate, there is another flip of this pool on the other half. So, like, it extends another... give me 1 sec to give a calculation with a ruler. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hola.
Eva, are you paying attention?
Huh?
This is very important.
Sure. Yeah. What? As she goes and reaches in with her other hand, so she's like, was holding onto the ledge, and then she lets go with her other hand and reaches in and tries to see if she could grab it. Like, could scoop up. Well, she has 2 hands in the water, and it's just leaning.
Sure. You place your hands into the water, and it feels like you may have caught some.
Oh. Got it. Got whatever this is. I think.
Do you pull your hands out of the water?
I do.
As you pull your hands out of the water, the sediment begins to settle into your palms like glitter.
Her eyes just gets wide. And looks up at whoever's next to her, which I could assume is Carissa. Just stare at you, wide-eyed. Look at this. You want to touch?
No, I'm okay.
Oh, okay.
Carissa, you would know what this is.
I would.
This is Stardust.
Huh.
It's a special kind of sand. And it's from your home. Whoever did this to the water looks like they probably imported it from your place and like distributed it.
Oh.
But this stuff comes from where you live. It's on the beaches. This is what all of the beaches are made of at your home. Is this almost perfect kind of sand. It glitters in the light. It looks and shines brilliantly like a diamond. And it makes water look just like this.
Want to take some?
Upon remembering that, she's just gonna kind of smile to herself.
We cut back to Lorik explaining how a swing works to Shiokaze.
Put your damn foot in the hole.
But
Um,
they're just kind of standing there with one foot in, like.
Not
all right,
holding
now
on to
put
anything.
your weight on the rope, grab the rope, and hoist yourself up.
Yeah. And now they're hovering.
And I sort of just grab the rope and pull it back 5 feet and let go.
Shiokaze, you begin to swing out over the water. Make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
shit.
Jesus Christ.
5 feet went crazy.
Shiokaze just slightly panicked, like, ah.
You get out over the water and start to realize that you went a little bit further than 5 feet back. As you fly out over the edge of the water here. And as you do, there's an impulse in you to like let go, and you strongly resist that impulse and hold onto the rope as tight as possible.
Whenever I swing back towards Lorik, I jump off and onto him.
Oh.
Ooh.
As
Onto
like a
him.
tackle.
Oh.
No, okay. Relax.
You tackling?
Relax.
Okay.
Hey.
I'm sorry.
Uncanny dodge.
No.
We'll just do an opposed dexterity kind of exchange here.
Just a dex check.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Ah, the universe has spoken.
There's a chance.
Yay!
I have to retire this character.
Oh no.
Shiokaze, how do you kill Lorik? Okay.
Oh damn.
Oh no.
How heavy is Shiokaze? Jesus.
No, Shiokaze, you jump off the rope and you. How do you tackle Lorik?
So so I'm coming back, and like at the point where I'm about to swing back over, I just go wink, and I jump off, and kind of like koala bear, just like, or like a cat that's trying not to get in water, just like scared. Like one hand is like on his face, and the other one's like an arm's around his neck, and then like my legs are like wrapped around him, just like terrified.
Lorik, you are surprised that Shiokaze even came back. You were thinking, Lorik, that Shiokaze was just gonna take a dip. And Shiokaze comes back and lands on you. As the rope swings back out past Ava again, without Shiokaze on it.
Can I help you?
Not doing that again.
You were supposed to jump off.
Why?
That's what it's for.
You didn't.
I haven't swung yet.
They're still holding on.
I peel you off.
It doesn't take a lot of time, but you slowly peel Shiokaze off of you as you stand here.
Look, we just check and see if the guards are at the gate. If not, then we can go for a dip.
But you told Ava that they don't like that.
Yeah, the guards don't like that. But this place is fucking ruined from last I saw. So who knows if they still care about it. It was a historical site last time I was here. Better in shape than it is now.
They're going to just kind of nod and hold on to like the end of your cloak. Just looking over the edge like,
Fine, let's go see if there are any guards.
Cool. You guys head towards the gates. Ava, do I see you climbing into the water on the map there?
Maybe.
Do you want to get in the water?
Maybe. She saw the glitter and immediately is like,
Do you jump in?
slowly, I'm inching in. Actually, no. Yeah, fuck
Okay.
this. She will be jumping
no.
in.
So you jump in.
Well, how do I jump in though? That's the thing. I just
Yeah.
want to slip in. No. She's slipping in. No. She wants to be a little sneaky, but not too sneaky. Doing this all in front of
You
you.
can, you can dive in. Just like
Yeah, dive in.
Well, the thing is, oh no, it's fine. Y'all will find out. Yes.
Bird and water sound like bad idea.
So she is wanting to hold on to the edge as she's going in. She's not diving.
Yeah, water,
Okay, so you-
My
water
point
right
does not
before a
change.
giant stone gate. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
I'm just holding on to the edge.
so you're
Flowing
going to hold onto the edge and climb in.
Yes.
As you do, you begin to see that like as you begin to get like further and further into the water, you're causing a bit more displacement, which causes this like halo effect of the stardust to be disturbed around you, creating what almost looks like a small like ring of this stardust to erupt from you in a weird way.
Ooh.
As it begins to move and join the other lights in harmony.
It's pretty.
In this moment, as you begin to climb in, you realize something about like an old folk tale you used to hear, which was that like when elves were heading to Tanith, they used to follow the stars. And what you realize now is they probably were not actually following the real stars, like they used them to navigate. But when they get close enough, you can see this stuff in the water. And you think this is how they figure out how to get home.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Lorik and Shiokaze, Diaphanous, what are you up to first?
Diaphanous has not realized that no one's following him, so he has continued to like wander forward and is trying to explain to Eva that like, and by the way, the last time I was here.
Yeah.
Wait a fuck.
As you begin heading off that way, Lorik and Shiokaze are like behind you a distance, but eventually the three of you, if you continue to walk and just talk to yourself, will end up on this dais over here next to the gates.
So, oh, thank you.
Like here and here. But this place looks almost like you remember it, Diaphanous. Doesn't seem like it's changed too much since the last time you were here.
I'm
So,
just
Lorik,
gonna
how do
walk.
we get in?
I'm just
Wait,
walking.
where's Eva?
Just like making sure she doesn't like, get pulled by something or doesn't drown. Just kind of like,
Are you, Ava, are you doing the kid thing where you pull yourself along the wall?
Yes. She's holding onto one hand, it's like
Behind-
pushing, and then
Behind you, you see a streak of this light that you're creating in the water.
Diaphanous is like screeching at you, like, get out of the water! Get out of the water!
why?
I assume Ava did that kid thing where like after she like has the water in her hands, she just like empties her pockets and then like slides in. So like Carissa's just kind of like, oh, okay. So she's like carrying all of her stuff,
And
Yeah.
so
just like walking next to her.
since you are carrying her cloak, which I'm assuming she did take it off, you
Mhm.
see just slide out of the shadows of her cloak is her little familiar walking alongside you,
Aww.
just chirping as he's watching her because he doesn't want to get into the water, but he's walking alongside you.
That's precious. Okay.
He brazenly walks on the very edge of the high wall, very proudly, like 1 foot in front of the other as he steps along, and will jump over any gaps in the wall as you guys walk along. Lorik, you look around, you don't see any guards.
All right. I sort of turn back to tell Ava they can jump in, and I see them rounding the corner, holding to the side. Well, as long as Carissa's with them.
Diaphanous is furious. He's tapping his hoof.
You think if I open my eyes in the water, it'll sting? She looks up at Carissa.
It won't sting. Your eyes will just be itchy for like an hour after.
Worth it.
I did that once when I was a kid. It's not fun.
She did not hear that last part. She dunks her head and starts kind of like moving around the water.
Yeah, as you begin to look around, you open your eyes underwater, and there's a slight stinging sensation. You're in salt water, essentially. This is like a saltwater pool, here. As you're like swimming around. Go ahead and just give me an investigation check at disadvantage.
Oh shit. Disadvantage.
I just look at your familiar and I'm like, I tried to warn her.
Investigation. I don't know why I was about to do insight. Disadvantage.
Also, does your familiar like totally lose it whenever you just like disappear? Whenever you like just go underwater?
Just start squawking. Yes. He's at the edge. Wings flared out. He's holding on. Just you hear squawk, squawk. They're just trying to squeak and to scream at the same time. Like how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a.
But like with a slight purr into it. Like how cats
Yeah,
chirp.
I can't roll my R's, otherwise I would cry. The other thing you'll see is as Ava dives off into the water, it almost looks like a shooting star, moving through as like the illumination of the waves of water that come off of her, like the air plume, turns and dissipates into this like brightly colored like stardust, as it emanates from her as she swims and darts around. Ava, it's pretty to look down here, but you just see that the walls kind of disappear into the distance, and you can't actually see the bottom.
Don't like that.
But it almost feels like you're swimming in a nebula. Like colors to all of your sides, you're looking around. And if you're under the water, it almost feels like you're gliding through color.
Through color, okay.
Cut to Laura going, oh, should have told her that'll be in her clothes for weeks.
Yep. It is like glitter. We cut back over. Diaphanous is like steaming. Are you on the stairs, Diaphanous? Or are you up on this like dais over here? Staring.
I'm up on the stairs.
I feel like you've just gone like full lifeguard in this moment.
Oh no, I'm like Karen mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I
Love
am
it.
going to give her such an undressing.
An undressing?
you know, like to like dress someone, like give like someone so many insults that they're like,
Yeah.
Give someone
they're
a
like
dressing
falling
gown.
apart. Yeah.
I guess Curso, she'll walk over to everybody else.
Yeah. Ava, as you swim around, you begin to see that there are stairs here that you can easily climb onto
Oh.
and get out of the water if you'd like.
Perfect.
Or you can hang out in the water all you want.
No. She has had her fun. She wants to get out. Does the water feel cold, warm? Nothing?
It's cool like when you first get in, but after you submerge yourself, it feels temperate. Like it just feels nice to be in. And as you get out, like you feel a sudden rush of cold air blow over you as you realize that like you don't have a towel and you're like, oh, I'm cold.
Diaphanous is holding a towel.
She's gonna slowly walk over there. It helps that I'm actually cold IRL, and I was like, oh my god, I'm freezing.
Yeah.
Diaphanous is like
yeah.
reached into his bag and has pulled out a cloak. For
Hey,
And then I still have your cloak as well.
I don't think I want
Yeah,
to
you
touch
look
my
over and
clothes.
see that Carissa is just carrying all of Ava's stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She takes the
No,
cloak.
you're fine.
Your little familiar is pulling at the edges of the cloak, like pissed off that you got in the water.
Oh, I'm sorry. She sees like the sparkles on her skin. Looks at my familiar. Picks him up.
You begin to walk, and it looks like even the like footprints you leave on the ground have some like glitter left in it, like the stardust. As you begin to like walk, it almost looks like you're leaving behind like radiant footsteps, if that makes sense.
Oh, yes. That is cool.
Diaphanous throws the cloak at you to dry off,
Ah,
and then like stomps past you.
thank you. What?
Disrespectful children these days.
Yeah, I know we said we weren't very stealthy, but we did not need to emphasize it.
What? That is like a little mad.
I just point down to the trail of footprints.
Oh, I can.
They're basically already gone. Like when her feet dry, they stop depositing this stuff as well. It looks like it was just like running off in the water, and like it stayed with the solution behind. So after walking in the grass a little bit, like feet dried off, there's no more of those footsteps.
Well, door.
Yes.
There are 3 doors before you.
I would like to ask the first door. No, sorry.
Only one of us tells the truth, and the other 2 are liars. You see before you, Lorik, the 3 doorways. This is one of the many entrances to the kingdom that you are from. And each one of these will lead to a road somewhere within your civilization. You can pick whichever door you like. You know how to get from one of these doors to wherever you're going. But there are like different mechanisms that open each door. So I'm curious, which door does Lorik open and why?
Big door, go straight forward for the king that is my father. Big door first.
Okay. You walk up to the big door. How do you open the door?
Good question. All my attendants used to do it.
Oh.
I think back in my memory to see if I remember what the hell the others did to open the door.
Cool. Give me a history check. We'll say it disadvantage. It's been a while.
Yes, I am so great at history. 11.
You remember it has something to do with the gemstones above the door, but you don't remember what it was.
Sort of tap my foot, looking up these gemstones in the door. Huh. I like get halfway
know how
reach
to-
for my bow.
Oh no.
You know how to
Turn
open
back.
it, right?
It wasn't really my job.
Mm.
Snap my fingers, point towards him. Magic. Gotta be magic. It's always magic. All right. Sort of sit down on the rock that's nearest to us.
Yeah.
Wizards, do your thing.
Melon.
Melon.
Giving Nepo.
How high is this gate? Wall?
So you can see that the wall itself is probably like 200 feet tall. And then above that, you see that there are like the tops of treetops. Ilikas, with the hint about the gemstones, you think that there would be a way to maybe magically use like the light cantrip or something to illuminate these.
It's light. So I'm gonna hold a little ball of light in my hand. Or
Mhm.
can I do it like that, or do I have to do
Sure.
it on the? Okay.
No, you can hold it in your hand.
And I'm going to shine it up to, or I'm going to hold it up to the gems.
You raise your hand aloft. Which gem do you want to light?
The big middle one. This one.
You raise your hand aloft to light the middle stone. It illuminates and then deluminates.
There's a pattern. Stares at Lorik. Points at door. Pattern.
I just shrug. I don't know. You know, I was a kid. I was busy jumping in the pond.
Okay. I will go ahead and try the left one. This little one. Hold on. Can I ping, please?
The far left? Yeah, if you hold left click, you should be able to.
It's not pinging.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
You want to? There you go.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
You attempt to light the left stone. It lights up, illuminates, and then deluminates.
Okay,
Or this one.
Okay, the top one.
You try the top stone, it illuminates, deluminates, and then you begin to believe that there's probably something else you need to do in order to activate those stones. You can cast light on them to illuminate them, but you think that there's another thing that has to occur first. And as you turn around, you see the two daises behind you.
Maybe someone has to stand on both of them. Oh, okay. Can someone stand on the other one, please?
Okay.
Okay.
As Ava and Diaphanous step onto these stones, you see that the stones slowly begin to rotate, and magical patterns begin to illuminate themselves on the different gemstones above the different doorways. All of the doors begin to alight in a different pattern. You see that this door illuminates in a pattern that is far left, then top right, far left top, and then middle, and then the big gemstone.
Okay, I do it in the order.
You light up the gemstones in that order. All of the gemstones then illuminate, and the door begins to open.
Yippee!
Ooh.
See? Knew you could do it. And you're welcome. I knew magic had to do things.
You just sat
They
around.
kind of just give a side eye, like,
You look up and the doorway begins to open in front of you. And as it does, we're going to jump to our next map.
Yippee!
Woohoo.
Oh.
You guys enter through what is a long, narrow hallway before you find yourselves at the base of a stone column, a giant tower. And it looks like the old pathways in here have been destroyed. Or, Lorik, you would know that people used to just have to free climb up this thing. There were no stairs. It was like a test of endurance. Something which elves were intimately familiar with too.
These days.
As you begin to look up this cascading well, you see these runes are inlit with like the same kind of stardust material that was out in the water, and they begin to like breathe and glow within this basically this giant column that you guys are within. And there's different paintings and photos and stuff like illuminated in them. Some people can see like the etchings of a dragon. Other people claim to see like a bunch of clouds. Some people see like a bunch of vines and roots. Some people see soldiers illuminated on horseback. As you look around, it looks to be like a great many things of interpretation. Shiokaze, you can begin to sketch, but I'll let you know, if you try to sketch all of it, you will be here for like a couple of weeks. So you may want to pick a couple drawings.
They're gonna do like the stairs and like that stuff, not necessarily the drawings. Yeah.
Gotcha. But you guys stand within this giant hallway.
Race you guys to the top.
Can I just fly up there?
You could.
Yeah, I don't do much racing.
Step.
Lots of rings.
Old person.
This is
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, Missy step.
That was fun.
You guys begin to run up of these like different staircases. And Ava, you're just kind of flying around. You guys look back and see Shiokaze is struggling. As you all have left Shiokaze behind. Shiokaze, done run. All right.
Shiokaze is like sketching as they run.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, that would be
Drops the quill, keeps running, pulls out another quill, and keeps trying.
Ava, what's your
as you
fly
guys-
speed?
What?
So what's your fly speed?
Oh, probably might. I don't know. Let me look.
Presumably 30.
Probably.
Probably.
All right.
Yeah, no, she's not fast. She's also getting very
I think I still
distracted.
beat you.
I'm sure
Yeah.
you did.
Um,
Very much looking at the charts.
you get to the top, and Lorik is obviously standing at the top waiting, but everybody else eventually arrives based on their own methods. At the top, Lorik, a simple door, something that can be opened, and allow you guys to exit onto the roads.
I sort of open the door, and I just like as we're stepping out, just like, oh yeah, those depict every single battle we've won in the last 1,000 years.
Huh? What?
Just to walk out the door.
Shiokaze is now like, now I want a skin show.
Daphnis is like out of breath and is like, the wise man wins every battle he doesn't fight. Okay.
Are you okay?
I vote on the way out. We have Seraph just switch places with us. Good plan, great plan, awesome. We're doing that on the way out. Okay.
You realize that Seraph would have to run down all of these stairs and then start exchanging with people from the bottom.
Oh.
I
Never
could feather fall us, or we could just jump. There we go.
But yeah, you guys are talking about this as you guys walk up to this door. Lorik, do you just open it?
Unless I remember something specific. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You walk up and you push the door open, and it opens into what is a long road for as far as you guys can see in the distance in front of you, with trees that overarch and like look almost like an awning to this pathway.
And how close are we to Aladar?
So yes, you guys are probably like a day and a half from Aladar.
Okay.
Is
Alright,
it
so I
weird
guess.
to anyone else that we haven't run into like any security at all?
Yeah,
Yeah.
is it normal for there to be this few people here?
Well, I mean, normally no, but I know I'm coming, so.
I mean, I would have put up like the welcome wagon and stuff for you.
No. Funny joke, though.
Yeah, you guys begin to make your way down the road. Do you guys do anything along the road? Like, do you guys want to stop anywhere or make any sort of like? Are you guys gonna beeline straight to the capital?
Well, along this road, I imagine it's mostly decorative.
Yeah.
Are there any notable locations to stop? Any towns? Any, I don't know, roadside attractions?
You know that these pathways are kind of scenic, if that makes sense. Like, they're not carved in the way that is like, we wanted to go the most efficient route, so we drew and carved this road directly to the location we're going. They're not perilous, but they are intricately woven into the landscape to allow people to see the beauty of the place that you're from. So, like, you may get to a section of the road that's carved into the side of a cliff face, and it overlooks a beautiful river view. And rather than building a big-ass bridge, they let this road subtly carve around the edge of the side of this cliff face, because elves have all the time in the world. And they would love to enjoy scenery, and take the long way. Eventually, you would know that there is, like, about a day's walk for a brisk paced like elf, so you'd have to kind of push people along a little bit. What would take like a regular elf like 8 hours would probably take your group like more like 12. But you guys would arrive at like what is a small little like inn along the route, and it's not anything crazy. It was an old monastery that they repurposed into like what is like basically a haberdashery. But beyond that, you know that like the elven nation decided that to build settlements close to the walls would be to invite people to tempt themselves to cross it. And so your elven capital is the farthest north city from any wall, with small settlements in place from there, to allow people to travel to the walls if need be, but quite often not very many people do. They may make a trek of like homage to these giant like towers and columns with all of the paintings and such to add new additions or whatever.
Excuse
but
me.
generally speaking, you know that these people don't really come out here. Like, it used to be a really popular thing, and all the kids used to talk about it, and now it's kind of like passe, and you know that it's not as well traveled as it used to be.
Gotcha. Well, I sort of relay that information to the group here, and just, you know, there are faster paths we could take, but this is going to be the easiest, just the longest.
Shiokaze is just gonna be like, easy and long, or perilous and short? I'll take the easy and long.
A second.
They know we're coming anyways. They can wait.
Well, I suspect we won't have a visitor during the night, but no assassins or anything of the sort. Right. This awning of trees goes on for, gosh, a day and a half. So might as well get started.
It's not entirely a day and a half, but the awning of trees kind of peters out like right near where the capital city is. So mostly a day and a half, with a little extra cut off the end.
Gotcha.
But yeah. And occasionally there will be breaks in it where you can see the huge landscapes and the scenery.
Yeah.
The big, beautiful forests and the giant river spaces and the canyons and just stuff that you've all seen before and it's lost its nuance, but stuff that like easily would be in a memorable painting of somebody who's never seen something so beautiful. In like famous parts of the world. As some of these people are wandering along, if you want to roll a history check, you might notice like, oh wow, this place is in an art museum that I visited before, in this giant painting that nobody's allowed to touch, because it's like incredibly old and probably would distinguish itself if that was the case. And as you guys wander along, you guys eventually make it to the haberdashery. It doesn't even have a sign. People just know what it is. And if you don't know what it is, you probably shouldn't walk in there anyway. But as you get to this place, like I said, it's an old monastery. Think like European builds, like monk monasteries. So they have like the friar kind of pillars and stuff, and it kind of outstretches. It's like an abbey, if you will. And it overlooks this beautiful, like serene cliffside that looks down over the forest. And you can see the place where people used to pray here, and all of these other things that people no longer do.
Well, this will be our resting spot for the time being. Feel free to make yourselves at home. It's probably been a couple of years since anyone's used the place anyway.
Yeah, you see it's almost like a take a penny, leave a penny situation. Like, there's rations and stuff here that are kept and wrapped and stuff. There's some, like, bread that, like, never goes bad in the pantry. And you see, like, other, like, freshly harvested, like, fruits and vegetables in the garden that you guys can take. And you see stuff like that, but you think it's been probably, gosh, like a month since somebody's been at the Abbey, like based on the condition.
A recent visitor. All right. I just sort of walk over to the nearest bed and just lay down.
Yeah.
This one's always been mine.
I'm not gonna ask. I'm gonna look for a bed or a place, something.
It's like a hostel, so all of the beds are kind of in one room. It's just, if you look, one of the beds is on a raised wooden platform that is got like a railing that cuts it off from the other beds, and that's where Lorik went and slept. Like, Lorik goes to lay it on probably the largest bed and the one that is separated from the other beds.
Diaphanous will start a little fire.
You see a fireplace, and you walk over and begin to mend and make a new fire in this place.
I'm just cooking up some rations for everybody.
Oh,
Nice. You see a plethora of stuff in the like within the Abbey. It is almost like a self-sufficient home that people use from time to time. It speaks volumes to the riches that these people have, that they can leave so much for so few people to ever experience. Like, you don't think people come out here very often, and you think the people who do come here all the time.
Mhm.
So this is something that is a place that used to be for many and is now enjoyed by only a few people.
Yeah, I'm just making food, and then once everyone's eaten, I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah. Carissa, do you have anything you want to do while you're at the
Well, seeing as how I still have Veritas in my possession, I want to talk to Lorik and figure out a game plan with what to do with it.
Yeah.
Because I just kind of picked it up and carried it away, and really nobody questioned it at the time. So I've just kind of been carrying it with me.
Yeah. There's still a note attached to it on the front.
Is it just, and you said it's just tied around with the paracord, right?
Yeah, it looks like it's hugging the scabbard like somebody tied it tightly.
Oh, okay. Okay. I walk over to Lorik's quite obviously separated and quite literally high and mighty bed that he's, I assume, just sprawled out on.
I got my hands like clasped behind my head here, got like one leg over the other. I just sort of turn my head towards you. Can I help you?
Well, I don't mean to disturb your sleep, Your Highness. And I just kind
I
of
don't
like,
want to sleep.
I just kind of like look pointedly at like the obviously like very nice bed. But what do we need to do with Veritas? Like, what are we walking into? Do we need to take it? Do we need to stash it somewhere? What's the plan for it?
Well, preferably, I'd like to use it on my father, but I don't think that's going to end well. As for stashing it somewhere, it's too late. They know we have it already, I'm certain. Best just keep your eyes on it, I think.
All right.
We don't have I sort of sit up in bed. You don't have a subspace bag of any kind? Anywhere to put things?
Oh, what?
I don't have one of those, unfortunately.
All right, well, yeah, keep it on you. Use it if you must.
Should we see what the note says?
Oh, yeah. Right, forgot about that one. Yeah, please.
All right. I'll unwrap the paracord and open up the note.
As you begin to open it, you unfold this very like ornate looking parchment. It almost looks like parchment that's good enough to write spells on, which you know is a certain level of quality that has to be on a piece of parchment for it to be like usable by a wizard. And as you open it, you begin to read the note that is inscribed here. It's pretty short, but on the note it says, "We've acquired this from Wandermere, looking to place the item within the possession of the crown. Return this immediately. Do not stop. When given to a carriage, place in secret compartment and use modified memory on the driver. And stop." There's another like small coded section of words at the bottom that is written in a cipher. And it looks like it may be a note for somebody at the As Order to receive. Like this thing was going to pass through a bunch of hands, and then somebody was going to retrieve it from the cart and read this note again, and there was something in a message for them.
I just kind of read the note, and I kind of raise my eyebrows, and I just hand it over to Lorik.
Let's take a look here. And I'll look over the note and try to see if I can decode the message there.
Give me a raw intelligence check.
Yes, I'm wonderful at those.
Can I give him the help action as well? Because I'll be like, well, what if this was an E and that one was a Y?
You can give the help action.
All right, thank you for the help action. That turned a natural 1 into a 17.
As you begin to decipher this note, you start writing out some of the like letters that might be forming certain words, and like almost by raw guessing the cipher, you go, okay, well, it's just like an exchange cipher where it's alphabetically tied to another letter, And so if I shift all of these by a certain number, I should get what the cipher says by unlocking like one or two of the letters on the string.
Mhm.
And like in about an hour, Lorik has it kind of cracked and done. And the note at the bottom just says, when traveling near the woods, elves may want this for their possession collection. It is imperative it doesn't go to them. Recovered from Wandermere. Previous owner, status unknown. Potentially useful for severing ties. Item identified, capable of destroying magical enchantments. Unknown condition as to what fortifies this achievement. A couple of like really weird magical words that like you write down through the cipher, but don't understand them because you're not like a magic spellcaster. So for you, you'd like, I know these are the right letters, I just don't know what they say. And then immediately after that, there is like a stamp that begins to illuminate on this page as you've kind of finished this cipher, and it is of like a hand with a flame in it, surrounded in a cerulean blue color that formulates with the name of a lesser wizard who delivered this from the city itself.
All right. I will read that out to Carissa. Well, seems like they didn't even know what they were in possession of, truly. Probably
And
why
how
it was
ironic!
such a-
How ironic that elves ended up with it anyway.
Ain't that true? But, well, just gave it on you and use it, I guess. No offense, probably stronger than anything else we've got here.
Probably. But once we're done here, we need to find Fendermere and we need to get this sword back to where it rightfully belongs.
Speaking of, I sort of sit up from the bed again. An hour later, after not talking to anybody else.
Yeah.
Anybody able to send messages? I think it's sending. Great. What a useful party we have.
Hey,
All
you
right,
don't have it
and-
either.
Guess we'll do the old-fashioned way then.
The mic was muted.
Do you have it?
No, I just kind of made a
Okay.
smart remark and said, you don't have it either.
Well, I'm not a wizard.
Well, maybe you should if you're asking for so many spells.
Well, don't we have something? Chris is gonna walk over and just like start rummaging in her bag for. Well, you don't know what she's rummaging for, but she's like intently looking for something.
Yeah.
As I frantically look through my notes.
As you begin to rummage through your bag, you do find a stone of sending. You know will contact Percival.
Yeah, that's what it was. I like pull it out. I'm like, aha! And I like hold it up to Lorik. I'm like, I mean, it's maybe worth a shot. I don't know. Do we want to chance it?
I've
You
got
should have
of
one
those
too.
I pull out an entirely different sending stone that goes completely somewhere else.
Yeah.
I think we had matching ones.
No, this is
That looks like a different one than what I have.
this goes somewhere much more fun, and I've never used it, but now might be the time.
Okay, fun or useful? Fun or helpful?
Both?
Because they can be two very different things.
Okay, helpful, no. Useful, maybe.
Fun, definitely.
Exactly.
I was not talking to you, Mara. Like Carissa holds up a finger in like his direction, is just like, not talking to you.
Morrow cuts half a portion of your food out of the plate and puts it back in the pot.
Rude. I mean,
Throws the ball.
if you think that it'll work, and I don't see why it's worth a shot, I guess.
Well, let's just hold on to that idea for now. I'm not too particularly thrilled by giving it to them either.
Truthfully, if we could just somehow find the Nevermore, this would make things quite easy.
You're not wrong about that. Make our trip there and our escape quite a bit easier.
Plus, Seraph could play with the ravens again. And by play, Carissa just thinks back of Seraph like tormenting the ravens inside the picture frames.
Cool. So what do you guys decide to do? Also, just so you know, if you had somebody make like an Arcana check on those words, you might be able to decipher what they say. But like I said, it was like a couple of words you can't decipher because they are written.
Wizards! I held up the piece of paper.
I imagine
any
that Lurk is just like reclined. He has like his pillows fluffed behind him, and he's just like reclined, and he just like holds the paper up and like kind of shakes it a little bit as he says that.
Yeah.
I shaked the paper in real life just now. I held up my head.
Anybody who is like proficient in Arcana may attempt to make a check to read what this says.
Ooh, nose goes.
Not me. I rolled good, but I'm not proficient in it.
Diaphanous, you look at this, and it's a small subheader of the note. All it says is like essentially it's hard to derive. It's essentially the words amalgamate into a sentence that basically says, young woman in our possession, potentially possessing Godspeed. It's hard to make out why that phrase works that way, but all of those things together make that sentence, if that makes sense. It's like a bunch of two-letter words that amalgamate into a large sentence, if that makes sense. But together they mean nothing.
Like Daphnis grabs the letter and is like flipping it up and like turning it around and so starts to fold it into like a star shape and it's like, does this mean anything to anyone?
As in you holding up the star shape, or did you explain what was said?
Yeah, I explained what was said.
Okay, you're just holding up a star and be like, does this mean anything to you? No. Lars goes, so that's where she went.
Who went? Who went where?
Oh, just a boisterous person of a party from a little while ago.
The robot.
No.
I don't think you've mentioned anyone else being in your party.
Well, they weren't here for all that long. They were here, made a ruckus, and were apparently taken away. Thought they had run away.
But do we have to rescue them too?
Maybe?
Do we want to rescue them? You sound like you don't like them very much.
Well, it was interesting. You know how I keep saying that we're not a very stealthy party? Well, they were actively anti-stealth. They would walk into rooms and announce themselves. And try to announce others.
That sounds like a foolhardy person.
But
I don't think we should rescue them. I think we should let them rot. They sound terrible.
perhaps, but if they find them useful, then that's worrying.
Well, that is true. I don't know. I feel like our plate's pretty full at this point, and the Azure Order is pretty incompetent at this point, anyways. I think we just let them go.
Right, just another thing to come back to down the line.
Who knows? They might be causing them just as much of a headache as they were causing you.
That's certainly possible.
We smash cut to Dawn, like blabbing about random shit on the road.
God, would you shut up?
Yeah.
I don't know. You're
For
like pretty
5
handsome.
minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. You're pretty handsome. You want to date me?
They have a bag over her head.
Yeah, she's talking through it.
Yeah,
She's got like a gag on.
I haven't figured out she doesn't have a tongue yet. Just kidding.
All right. Well, soup's on. I couldn't find the spice cabinet, so forgive that it's just salt and pepper.
Should you just?
What? Do you have a spice cabinet on you?
No.
Hmm.
How much do you know of elves?
How much do I know? What?
Of elves?
Of elves? That's a good question. Enough.
Are you lying?
Am I lying?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear what you said, Eva.
Yes, I nodded.
That is a good question. I have 2 questions for Matt. How much do I know about elves?
You know the basic history I told you.
I mean, I know basic stuff, like where they come from, like a general idea of their history.
Uh-huh.
I try not to spend a particular large amount of time with them. They're rather full of themselves.
You got
And
that right.
as he says that, he looks like in a direction that's away from both Carissa and Lorik, like purposefully.
You're not wrong.
Oh, I wasn't even talking about you, Lorik. I was talking about some other elves I've met.
Look, I don't like elves either, but we're famously bland on food.
It's why?
Fuck if I know. Why do you think I left?
I assumed it was because you had an abusive father, but if it's culinarily speaking,
That's part of it.
all right. We need to take you to what was the name of that city on the coast? The one with all the spicy food. That's where we've got to take you.
I've almost certainly been, but I'll definitely go again.
You have a list of places you... No. May I have my food, please? Thank you.
There you are. We're gonna take you to Bailey's. Bailey's by the coast. That's the place we've got to take you. They have these little fluffy cloud things that they fry and then toss in donut powder.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, there's actually, you would know that it's called Bailey's Barrel.
Yeah. Bailey's Barrel. That's the one. They have a festival every year where they all wear different colored gowns and they wear masks. It's delightful.
Well, you'll have to show me one of these days. If we live.
Say that.
If we live.
Well, what's everyone else up to?
Yeah. We'll quickly jump around the room. As we're getting ready to go to bed, what is Elikas doing?
Sleeping.
That's what I was going to say.
Shmee apparently.
Elacross is EP.
I think that'd probably be a bingo for me.
Oh. Ah! God.
For reference, Carissa, in my campaign, we started making bingo boards for common things players do, or myself, anything, things that happen in the game.
Oh my gosh.
One of them is Erebus is EP, so Erebus is Shiokaze.
Ah. That's amazing.
Well, seeing as we are sleeping at a haberdash, I guess it makes sense for someone to fall asleep.
Is Shiokaze actually asleep?
I have no idea.
Hey, Dak.
Is your mic muted?
It'd be a long time to realize.
I mean, sometimes.
What
realized
is
my-
your favorite color? Blue, no green. No.
He thinks yes.
That
I cannot
sleepy?
believe Dak fell asleep. Dak is not allowed to play from bed anymore.
Is Dak even playing in bed?
Ooh.
I don't think Dak's even in
bed.
bed.
Dak probably got up and laid down and has not come back because they fell asleep.
Oh no.
Want to call them?
Call or message.
You can if you'd like.
I mean, we're about
will-
to wrap up,
Yeah.
right?
Right?
We were gonna make it to the city tonight, but I guess it depends.
Nah, apparently we're
Because
just all going to bed.
I was gonna smash cut to you guys going to the city immediately after this long rest.
You know what?
Yes.
The spell Diaphanous cast has run out. Shiokaze can no longer speak.
This is perfect.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. Anyone else do anything tonight? Because I'd like to smash cut.
Yeah.
Yep. Just going to bed. I'm going to
All right.
burrow in bed.
Do you have anything else?
Eva goes to start talking. Diamond just throws a blanket over her, puts her in her bed, and just like crosses his arms and goes to his bed. But you're done.
No. You
Your
go
time out.
I've had enough of you today.
Ezekiel just crawls out of the covers looking at you.
You guys go ahead and take your long rest. Recover any spell slots or anything you've used. The next day, same kind of thing on the walking path. Some like visible kind of oversight stuff of like the different landscapes and things like that. Until eventually you arrive at what is a cascading bridge from one side of the river, and it looks like the pathway was designed in such a way to make you look at the city as you walk across this bridge. But as you guys make it to the front way of this this city, you can see that there are like 4 parapets that lead across the giant expanse for this river. And then on the other side, you see a tall, like very large cascading civilization. The city known as Aladir. Or, sorry, Aladar. And you guys can see the different colored domes. The architecture here looks ancient. It looks like somebody built this shit a long time ago, and it's still here. It's got like that sense of like, as you walk across it, you're like, I wonder how long ago the cement was used to put these stones in place. And I wonder how long that dome on that building has been painted that color. And I wonder how long this has been this way. As you guys venture across the different areas of the river. As you guys approach the far side of the bridge, there is a singular man standing in a white set of robes with long blonde hair, patiently waiting at the edge of the city.
I flip him off.
Jesus Christ.
As you guys approach, you see the smiling face of a young elf named Arrow, who is standing at the very edge of town, waiting for you all to arrive. As Lorik flips him off, he just chuckles a little bit. Good to see you too, Lorik.
I just don't even respond. Just look at him. Disappointment.
What, do you want me to call you by your real name? Narlin? I thought you were
Might as
using
well.
the fake one. I'm confused.
Might as well call me Sarlaya here.
We're friends.
Are we?
I mean, you always say that, it's so funny. Anyway, who were all your friends?
Diaphanous leans over to Carissa and goes, "How many names does he have?"
I don't know. I kind of lost count after like 4, I think. You just, whatever name he calls himself, you just kind of go with.
Oh, Dawnfather. Leans back.
Friends? Arrow. Arrow? Friends.
Well, that wasn't really an introduction now, was it?
Do you need to know their name?
Well, I've met 2 of them before. Oh,
Great.
you seem a
Glad you're
bit more
invited.
injured than the last time. Was it Inspector Morrow? Was that your name?
Yes.
Dreadful. Did you lose your arm in combat since the last time we spoke?
Yes. Diaphanous looks at him like he's like, "I'm trying to remember your name, but I cannot for the life of me remember you."
Oh, well.
And
guess-
it's good to see you again too, Arrow. I reach out my metal hand.
He looks at you and slowly shakes your metal hand as the then brushes his hand back on his clothes and puts them back together in front of him. He looks over at the rest of you. And goes, "There's a few new faces that I haven't seen before. Who are you, little one?" As he looks down at Ava.
I practice this. My name is. And she reaches out. My Ava, which, as she forgets quite literally her title, which Seasons, right? She looks at Diaphanous.
I mean, yes, technically, but that's not your last name. Like, you don't.
What do I say?
You have a title, but then you don't necessarily have to use the.
No? Okay.
So your name is
Her name's Ava.
Seasons?
Ava. It's Ava.
Nice to meet you, Ava Seasons. As he gives you, he extends his hand to you, but he crouches down in a very patronizing kind of way as he extends his hand.
You're as dumb as I remember.
I'm sorry, what?
He said you're as dumb as he remembers.
Alright, he's hard of hearing as well.
Oh, clever joke. You see he kind of, if Ava doesn't shake his hand, he'll just stand up, and look over at Carissa. The tall one I remember, Shiokaze, but I don't think I remember a woman clad in male armor.
Carissa, lovely to meet you. She's like trying her best to be polite.
And only half elven, I see. What a sadness. Is it because you are only half elven that you must do a man's job? Or is that a personal choice?
I just look towards Carissa like, see?
Is it a personal choice to not think before you speak?
Well, I mean, you are entering our capital. So our culture is the thing that's prevalent here. If you don't like it, you simply could wait here for your friends to return. Although it might be some time, and half-elves don't live nearly as long as regular elves. So you might be waiting here for a foreseeable future.
Now I remember you. Your attitude. That's right. Ah. Elves, aren't they wonderful?
Charmed, I'm sure.
Just
You're
lovely.
charmed? I thought that was impossible for elves. Although that would explain your terrible manners.
You see, he just nods at you and then looks back over to Nerlin. Nerlin, your father has prepared a banquet for this evening and requests your attendance. He does wish to discuss some of the finer points of your return, including penciling in when you're going to start your magisterium training, so that you can apply for a seat in the magistrate. I will go ahead and fetch the tailored clothes that your father had picked out for you and return them to you before you arrive at the mansion, where you will dress before you go meet your father. He doesn't want to see you in all of this occult nonsense.
You can
and I
tell
see
him
you've
I'll be there,
adopted-
but my clothing will stay.
Of course, I cannot compel you to change your clothes. However, I should remind you your father will be quite disappointed.
He already is.
You see just a weird look glance across his face. As you say, he already is. He looks at you and kind of shrugs it off. Now, for the difficult topic. Your father was begrudged to offer your friends a place to stay, but has accepted the idea that they may stay within the halls of the Sarlaya family estate, seeing as they are in your companionship. The only caveat is that they are not allowed to attend dinner in the main hall. They must eat in the secondary dining room on the 3rd floor.
Father's not going to like that one.
Well, either way, shall we begin to venture through the city? Or are you going to come alone? Or I kind of just need to get a head count.
Oh, no, they'll be accompanying me.
Ah. All right. Well, I shall inform him at once. You see, he very quickly reaches up to his temple and casts a spell. He says, the Magister will see you now. Please, accompany me. And for those of you who are not from here, please cherish the view. This is what a city looks like that's not tarnished by blood, death, decay, disease, or any of the other mortal perils that come with living in a place filled with corruption and political greed.
Lorik will audibly scoff.
I kind of want to tap on Diaph in the shoulder to bring him down to my level. I was like, what is his issue?
He's got pointy ears. It makes it hard for him to hear anyone else.
But except for his ego?
Exactly. You're getting good at this.
I see now.
You're going to do just fine at the council meeting.
You see, as you guys are walking along, you see very quickly he stops. He turns around to look at all of you and goes, "My apologies. Ava, you did not inform me you are the Witch of the Sanguine Seasons. It seems that you are requested for an audience this evening."
One moment. I lean down and I pretend to talk to Eva for a second. I just say, just look at the sky for a second.
Okay.
Can I look at the ocean? Can I look back at the sky? Okay. She humbly accepts that request.
Your sister Silence is very overjoyed to get to see you once again.
Which sister? She looks at the diaphanous. Is it steel?
I lean down to her and I start fuck.
Fuck, indeed. Oh no, we should.
We would love to attend.
Trying to hold the
Silence
poker
will
face.
be most pleased.
Hmm?
I said Silence will be most pleased
Silence.
to hear
okay.
from her sister. It seems as though she's been in waiting for quite some time. It is all right. We shall continue our walk to the estate. However, I shall endeavor on another chore after I retrieve Lorik's effects.
Always
Come with
lucky,
me.
aren't you?
Well, you know, it's perks of the job, I guess.
Yes, being an errand boy, such a perk.
Well, you know, it's dedication to hard work that you don't understand that always seems to amaze me.
Yes, hard work. The one thing I don't understand, certainly. You do know your jokes, Arrow.
See, and this is why we're friends. You see as he walks along. You see that there are some people in town who, upon seeing Lorik, turn and whisper to others and then scuttle off somewhere in the city. And eventually you guys make your way to the front gates of the giant estate for the Sarlai family. And you see that it is a absolutely gigantic house. The only people who have lived in a house that may be rivaling this comparison is Carissa. And you see that you venture up to the front gate. There are two young elven men who look to be some sort of guards. They both look over, and you see Arrow walks up and waves to them, and they step aside as they venture into a small hut affixed to the gate. And both of them begin to mechanically turn a crank that opens the gate slowly. You see that Arrow stands and waits for the gate to entirely open before stepping across the threshold and walking towards the estate.
You know Lorik steps underneath early.
Yeah. As you begin walking up to the estate, you see Arrow will kind of guide the rest of the people who maybe wait or don't. As you guys arrive at the front courtyard area, you see a couple of the house carriages are missing at this moment. They're out somewhere in town, or maybe they're gone to other parts of your kingdom that you're from. You see that as you guys approach the front door, there is a butler adorned in what is regalia of a noble house with a sigil of your father. He's holding in his hand a silver platter with a tea decanter and a bunch of cups. And it looks like a very large, comically large decanter with cups that he is just holding in one hand with perfect posture. And as you walk up the steps, he goes, "Master Sarlaya, it's wonderful to see you once again."
Grunt as I walk by.
Would you like tea?
I'll begrudgingly take a cup.
You see he hands it to you and goes, "It's your favorite."
Yeah, I know.
Oh, Master Sarlaya, I was told to inform you one piece of information. Do you wish to receive it now or later?
Lay it on me.
Your father has so eloquently kept your belongings exactly as they were when you left. And he asks that you very quickly attend to your studies. You have quite a bit of reading to make up in your absence. Again, a message from your father, not myself.
Of course. Thank you.
What was your
you
name,
see
sir?
You see that he goes to speak a name, and a collar alights around his neck. You see he looks at you and goes, "I'm a humble servant of the house, Soma."
I
Thank
see
you,
the
Rush,
collar.
for that. Oh my god,
and
I need to turn this down.
I don't know if anyone else catches this, but Daphnis gets very, very angry for a brief moment.
Thank you for the raid.
And he goes, servant.
Dun dun
we
dun dun dun.
require
Hello,
a
hello.
about yay
Welcome.
broad by yay wide. It doesn't matter what it looks like on there. We just need it, and the sooner the better.
A great many selection.
Thank you. Hello. I appreciate your raid, Rich. How are you?
No, it doesn't matter at all. We just need
Welcome.
Just
faster.
How are you playing? What were you streaming as a special events? Was it for the Game Awards?
Very well.
Hope you're doing well.
You see he then looks down at Ava and goes,
Oh god, this is my
I've
part.
been informed that you are a distinguished guest of this capital, and I am to treat you with the utmost respect, young fair lady. May I oblige you in some tea?
Wait, yes, thank you. Thank you. She will
You see
reach.
he pours you a glass from this decanter and hands it over to you on a saucer.
Thank you. I will just look at Diaphanous. Just thank you.
I just roll my eyes like you're not supposed to say thank you to the help, but whatever.
I don't know. Shut up. She's panicking on the inside.
As you say thank you, and he says you're not supposed to say thank you to the help, it looks like decorum is one of those things that these people train in a lot. And it seems as though when you say thank you, and there's this like moment where he reminds you that you're not supposed to thank the help, he goes, and your thanks is more than I deserve. Thank you so much. You see as he nods at you.
She goes to drink the tea, just like, I don't know what I'm doing here.
You see he looks over at Carissa, and he looks to you, Lorik, and
Nice.
goes, is this a
Was it
bodyguard?
good? Was the game of rewards good? Hope as well.
I just sort of quietly laughed to myself.
Thank you again for that
Carissa, Feel
raid.
free to answer as you please.
I appreciate you so much, sir.
Depends on how much trouble he's in.
I appreciate you for dropping off your chat
I
with
just kind of
me.
like smirk at Lorik.
Master Starlight, your help is very funny. Would you like a cup of tea?
Yes, please. Thank you.
You see he pours you a glass, places it on a saucer, and hands it to you as he slides it over to you. Apparently, Shiokaze is awake again.
Oh. Oh.
Shiokaze has just been like
As-
sleepwalking throughout the entire city.
Just out of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
You see, he slowly goes down the line and introduces each one of you, and then asks if you would like a cup of tea. You can take one or you don't have to. You see as he gestures everybody inside, there is another attendant. She is a young elven woman. She can't be more than like 200 years old. Just looking at her. You see that on her wrist, she has affixed different types of jewelry to her like chains that bind to rings on her hand, a little bit like Lorik's, except they are bound to a bracelet. And you see that each one of her fingers wears one of these rings that is also chained to one another. And she has like a long set of links that hang off of the side of her wrist. As you enter the foyer here, you see that she looks at all of you and addresses Lorik. Master Sarlaya, it's wonderful to have you home. Your father has instructed me to make sure that you have everything that you want to desire, as is the custom. And your guests are allowed to stay on the upper floors of the mansion. They can either pick their own rooms, or we can assign them, whichever your choice you would prefer.
Right. Let them pick, and please let my father know that he will be attending the banquet with my help.
You see she gulps in a manner of holding back the things she was going to say. Certainly. I will let him know of your decision.
That will be all.
Yes, sir. And you see she like nods her head at you and steps to the side of you to get out of your way.
Right. Shall we? Sort of just looking back towards the rest of the party.
Yes, let's go.
Mhm.
Lead the way.
I can't get any younger. I'll sort of take the stairs.
Yeah, as you begin to take the stairs, you see that a young looking like bellhop kind of dressed elf comes running out wearing another collar. And you see that as you begin to head up the stairs, the bellhop calls back up to you. Master Sarlaya, are you in need of a porter? Someone to carry your belongings? I'm sorry, I'm late.
We'll be fine.
Yes, sir. Please don't tell your father I was late. I'm so sorry.
I hardly know you.
Right you are. I got hired after you left. My bad. You see that as he finishes speaking to you, the woman at the bottom of the stairs smacks him with a chained hand. And a bit of blood as a scar or a cut is formed on his face.
Diaphanous is starts to kind of bumble as he comes down the stairs and goes, I happen to need a porter right now. Oh, you'll do just fine. Come, boy. Come.
She audibly ticks her tongue in your direction. You see prejudice in her eyes as she looks at you. She looks at you. She sighs. You heard him. Take his things. After this, we will speak. And you see she walks over to the front door to help with the butler, who seemingly has stood in the same place since you guys walked into the house. But you can see the mark that she left with all of the chains when she smacked him across the face.
Diaphanous puts his hand on him. And he's just he's furious, but he's giving that shit-eating grin of just I will flay her with my bare hands.
He looks at you and he goes, oh no. My fault. I shouldn't have been late. I knew today was going to be important.
Diaphanous puts his hand over his mouth and goes, shh.
Marrow.
It's all good. Come,
save them all.
Carry this bottle.
You see he... what bottle do you hand him?
It's like my water skin.
You see he takes it from you and goes, of course, yep, I'm gonna follow you, yep,
Now tell me about yourself, boy. Tell me all about yourself.
He goes to do that, and the collar begins to illuminate as he goes to try and speak.
That's what I thought. It's all good. Just keep walking.
Diaphanous, you can't help them all.
So I should help none of them.
You're making it worse.
You're giving me gas.
You see as you guys begin to usher through the hallway, the woman at the front door just gives a deathly stare at Marrow and the young porter. You see that she takes the handkerchief from the butler's lapel, wipes her bloody chains, and hands it back to him on the tray, as she walks off with a cup of tea.
I take the party to where we can choose our rooms up on this 3rd or 4th floor.
Yeah. You venture upstairs, and are free to help the party pick whichever enumerated rooms you'd like. You know that your brother's room is up here as well.
Well, you're free to pick any rooms, but I would suggest piling into as few as possible. And rest assured they're all bugged.
What was that last part? Bugged?
As in, nothing we say here is a secret.
Okay.
You should be under the assumption that we are under watch at all times of every hour.
I don't like that. But okay.
Nobody does.
I see why you left.
Just wait, it gets better.
Oh.
I will lead them to whatever rooms they choose, and I will take a stroll past my brother's room and sort of stand by the door for a second, lingering, and continuing on to my own.
You continue walking down the hallway. All of you witness that he stops, like visually in front of this door. As you look at it, this door may have not been opened in hundreds of years. Even the doorknob is tarnished, as if the person who owns this house actively avoids cleaning.
Mental note.
Lorik, as you begin to venture through this place, you see the cascading floor plan of this place, as it was when you were here last. You know that your room is on the 4th floor. It's as far away from your father's room as possible, and he simply allowed that to be because he liked you. Your room is the only room that has an antechamber before you enter it, which is a giant cascading library of all the books your father thinks you should. The rest of the rooms within the house are varying sizes, but think the Palace Versailles, where like they're all much larger than most of the rooms any of you have ever been in.
Can I just chill in the antechamber? Because the books.
Yeah,
I do
you
not
can read
allow
the
you
book.
into my room.
Well, it's not in your room.
The antechamber is in my room. There are other libraries you can attend to.
It's for me.
No.
My room is not for you.
They pout a little bit and like ask you to lead the way to another library then.
Take your pick. Every 6th room.
They go into the closest one and then just start gathering books that look interesting, and then just kind of like find a corner, make a little nest.
Yeah, you make a little nest of books. And I think there's almost a level of defiance to this strategy. You're like, these people like to be organized and orderly, so if I just make a mess with all the books that I want to read, that'll be an act of defiance in its own right. As you guys are beginning to wander through the halls here, a short while later, Lorik, as you're kind of showing people down one of the hallways here on the 4th floor, you haven't quite made it to your room yet. You see Arrow begin to walk down the hallway from around a corner in his appalling, like, it's not appalling to anyone as in the sense it's not beautiful. It's appalling because of how perfect and beautiful it is, like very practiced. You see that he rounds the corner, and in his hand, he's holding a young little girl's hand as she comes around the corner. She's wearing like a floral flower crown, a white frilly dress. It's Hope. You see that he turns the corner and goes, "Oh, Master Lorik, I have a special guest who just had to see you."
It's a long sigh as Lord suppresses an anger within himself. And just a tense, quick nod and a blush of his face as he wipes away those emotions for a moment. It's good to see you, Hope. I hope they're treating you well.
Yeah, you see as you begin to say, like, it's good to see you, she goes to, like, move towards you, and as she does, he holds her hand tightly. And you get the idea that she went to move, felt the resistance on her arm, and stopped. She looks at you and goes, it's good to see you, Master Sarlaya. I hope to be a valuable servant to the, he leans in and he goes, to Eladir and all of its people. To Eladir and all of its people. And, I like all the snacks. You see, he goes, you do like all the snacks, that's true. Shall we get you to your next lesson? But I want to hang out. No. The Elven Oracle is much too busy to hang out with. When Master Sarlaya has assumed his role as a magister, you will hang out with him all the time. I guarantee it. You see, she looks up at him and goes, really? And he goes, yes, you and him are both going to live quite a long time. And I'm sure you will become great friends. She will be at the ball this evening. And I'm sure you will love to see the dress we picked out. She chose it specifically because of you.
Right, wonderful. I sort of just bring my hand to my forehead, sort of just rubbing the sides of my temples for a second. Just, what did you all do to her?
I don't know what you mean. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Ah. Cliffhanger.
Wait.
No war embossing say.
I know. Oh my gosh. Well,
Alright, sorry guys, I fell asleep. I did not do very well. I fell asleep at my desk in my chair. Like that's how tired apparently I am. I didn't get to nap today.
It happens.
no,
Yeah.
it's okay. You woke up at least.
Guys.
You came back.
Oh,
Yeah.
well. Mom woke me up.
Oh, well.
I had my headset on and I fell asleep when y'all were talking.
That's funny.
He's like, ambience. Well,
Diaphanous does not like this place.
Eva also does
Yeah.
not like this place.
I hope you guys like
Carissa
the
does not
Sarlaya
like
house.
it.
Good night.
Yeah, say good
Good
night,
night.
chat. Good night. All right, good night. We are
Does any of the dispel magic
we
spell?
are heading out, and I would like to still thank my friend Rich for raiding the stream. Thank you so much for that raid, and thank you all again for joining in on our I was gonna say our last session. It's not our last session, our past session, this session, and I hope to see y'all in the next one. Hopefully we might be streaming this Saturday. We plan to stop by at the Permian Basin Comic-Con. I won't be selling, but I do plan to go by and support my friends. So you might see me there if you go. If you don't, it's fine. You might catch me on the stream in the evening. So thank you all again for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, day, wherever you are in the world. And I will catch y'all later. Goodbye.